Welcome back to Coaster Crazy Conversations, where we talk about all things theme parks, roller coasters, and everything in between. I'm Fred, your host, also known as the Coaster Crazy Guy, and I'll be here every episode guiding you through news, discussions, and those all-important Coaster Crazy debates. So if you don't already know, each episode I'll be joined by a special guest, and today I'm joined by the Coaster Chronicles. In this episode, we're stepping into the theme park time machine, from iconic rides and park eras we wish we'd experienced, to attractions we'd bring back tomorrow. We're travelling through theme park history to discuss the moments that shaped the industry we love today. But as always, let's get to know more about our guest. Do you want to introduce yourself and a bit about your content?
Hello, I'm Coaster Chronicles. I do lots of theme park content. I do likes of vlogs, theme park updates, and of course just funny theme park videos.
So what was it that originally got you into theme parks?
Well, I got a Merlin pass with my family, and I just started going more regularly. Actually, fun fact about me, I actually used to be very scared of rides, and I didn't go on them at all. And it's just people that got me over my fear. And then I just fell in love with them ever since.
I feel like that's been a big recurring idea on this podcast. Every single person who said I've been terrified of them went on the one and then loved it. I was the complete opposite. I started at my first theme park when I was 11 months old and have just been obsessed since then.
Yeah, it's an addiction now.
Yeah, I would definitely describe it as an addiction, but a fun one. So, what was it that made you start your account in the first place?
So actually, before I had a theme park account, I actually used to have a Lego account. I saw on one of your last podcasts, someone else had the same. So if you actually go deep into my account, you can see a few Lego videos. So I did mainly Lego videos, and then this theme park started to go in it, and then before I started doing fully theme park content, that's when I changed to the Coaster Chronicles.
Okay then, let's fire up the theme park time machine. If you could experience one coaster for the very first time again, what would it be?
I think it would be Hyperia, to be honest, because the first time riding Hyperia was one of the most magical things I've ever happened, and just the atmosphere of when that happened and the whole opening, the whole hype of the rides. And I remember coming off and just thinking, what on earth just happened? So it'd definitely be one I'd want to experience again.
I definitely know what you're on about with that one. I loved my first time on Hyperia. I actually went for a Roller Coaster Club of Great Britain event. Was my first time, and I waited. I didn't go on it that day because the event was at 7 o'clock at night. And I waited all day. I did not go on it. I wanted it to be the event to be my first time, and I was absolutely petrified. But I loved it, and it was great. I think for me,
great ride.
Yeah, it is. I think for me, one that I would like to go back and have as my first go again would definitely be Iron Gwazi. That ride is absolutely insane. I say it in pretty much every episode, but I love it to pieces. It's so intense. It's got great airtime, and like I was with Hyperia, going up that lift hill was absolutely terrifying because it looks like it doesn't look that high until you get up there, and it's nearly the same height as Hyperia. So those that have been on Hyperia, not Iron Gwazi, that's what you can compare it to. A wooden Hyperia, but longer.
Yeah. I definitely want to do Iron Gwazi one day. It's on my bucket list. I'm going to do some of the European theme parks first.
European theme parks are amazing. If you get the chance, you should definitely go. Especially Efteling. Efteling's amazing.
Yeah, I've done Efteling. I did that back in January.
Alright, yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was an incredible theme park.
So if you could travel back and visit any theme park era, where and when would you go?
When, one of the first times that Alton Towers opened, and when they started bringing, the opening day of, Nemesis, and when they did Nemesis, Oblivion, Rita, I think that would be, a great theme park era to visit.
So basically back when Alton Towers actually built new rides?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, okay, that's fair enough. I think for me, I would maybe choose... for the where, I'd move over to America, And for the when, I'd go like the 1980s, 1990s for the coaster wars.
Yeah.
Because that's when the innovation was really starting to get up with these coasters going from basically like the Matterhorn up to these B&Ms, all these big new B&Ms we're getting. And I think it would just be an insane era to try out.
Yeah, it's crazy to think how like roller coasters have evolved over time. Like at first it was like these wooden coasters, and now we've got like then they introduced like metal, steel, and there's so many great manufacturers out there now.
I know I did an episode on this, but just out of interest, what would you say is your favourite manufacturer and why?
Um, for me, I really like Mack Rides because of course you've got Hyperia, there's Rides Happiness, Voltron. And they also do lots of like great family attractions, like Storm Chasers, one of my favourite family coasters at Poulton's Park, as is my local park.
Okay, and who could forget Stardust Racers by Mack Rides?
Oh yeah, you can't forget about that one.
The absolute best dueling coaster there is. And
Yeah,
for me,
really good.
I would go Vekoma. I think Vekoma just is leading the way with innovation at the moment. Them and Intamin, just their rides are intense,
Definitely.
smooth, and just there's some strange elements on there that you just would not think of.
Yeah, definitely.
Anyway, back to the point of the episode. What's one defunct ride you'd bring back tomorrow if you had the chance?
One defunct ride. I don't know really. It's no longer existing. I reckon the corkscrew at Alton Towers.
I was just thinking that.
Because it's like very iconic and nostalgic. I think it's like Nemesis really. It's part of history, and I think it should be great still to have.
I get what you're saying, and I was actually thinking corkscrew, because basically, even though it's not the most intense ride, or I don't know, it probably wasn't the smoothest ride after 40 years of operation, but like you say, it's such an iconic ride, and even though there's like plenty of them around the world, especially like you've got Python at Efteling, which is, well, I say similar, it's got 2 extra inversions, but it's the similar ride type, and yeah, like you say, it's just iconic. Even though there's plenty of them, Alton Towers, it was a special ride. It was the first looping coaster in England.
There's a tribute to it at the front entrance, so it is still remembered.
For me, personally, other than Corkscrew, I think I'd have to say Rip Ride Rocket. I missed that. It was such a fantastic ride, and I want it back.
Yeah, I would have loved to have the chance to ride that, but apparently it was very rough. But it's just like part of nostalgia.
I didn't really find it that rough.
Do you not? Oh wow. There was lots of like mixed reviews. Some people were like very happy that it's closed, and they're like, oh yes, it was really rough. And then some people like, oh no, like nostalgia, which I thought I'd like probably be like.
Yeah, well, I think it definitely was rough for Universal Orlando standards. It wasn't the smoothest ride at the park. However, if it was in the UK, it would be like considered one of the best rides. It was compared to like Velocicoaster or Hulk or the other one, Hagrid's. It's not going to be the smoothest compared to those, and Stardust Racers as well. As an actual roller coaster on planet Earth, which it was, fun fact about it, it was pretty smooth. It was enjoyable. And who could not love flying around the Florida skies to Waterloo by ABBA?
Yeah, I do love how they added like music to that.
Everyone says that Guardians of the Galaxy was an innovative thing by just adding music. The first one was Rip Ride Rocket. So what's one historical theme park moment or opening day you wish you could have witnessed in person?
Do you know, I reckon King Dakar.
Okay.
Like, this is going like way back now. I would have loved to experience like on an opening day, because I imagine for a coaster like that, is the hype would have been through the roof. And what I love about the opening day is, the enthusiasts love it. Like all the staff are loving it. There's so many people that are there, and the hype of the ride is just through the roof. And I think the opening days are like one of the best things about theme parks.
For me, I would say, first off, I agree with that. I think that would have been an amazing one to go to, because obviously it was, rest in peace, King Dakar. It was the tallest roller coaster in the world for quite a long time, only to be taken over. Well, it didn't even make it to being taken over, but the new tallest is Falcon's Flight, which is over 600 feet tall, which is crazy. But yeah, King Dakar was it
Yeah.
425 feet?
Mental. Yeah, something like that.
Yeah, and that itself is crazy. The layout itself was a little bit like Stealth, but quite a little bit taller, and had a roll on the way down.
Yeah. Yeah, I wish they had something like that on Stealth. That'd be brilliant.
It would be very whippy. To say how tall Stealth is, I don't think it's got the room. You just go down, and it'd be
Yeah.
like one of those things. Have you seen Bean on Instagram who does like crazy Planet Coaster creations?
I might have, yeah.
It would be like that.
Yeah.
Just down, zip, and then airtime hill.
Yeah.
I think for me, because, well, a lot of people talk about Nemesis opening. People, our generation, forget about the other 1994 coaster opening, which was the big one, which when it opened as the Pepsi Max big one, it was the tallest roller coaster in the world. And that was in Blackpool. That is crazy. I think that would have an amazing opening.
Yeah, that's something incredible to think. Like, at one point we did have like the world's tallest roller coaster, and it goes back to where you think like how much coasters have evolved, because they've gone from like, I don't know, 40 feet to like where we're at now, 600 feet.
It's insane. And I was talking about this with UK Thrills, but the speed that they've developed as well is mad. So think like, I don't know, 30 years ago, 1990s, we were building rides at 200 feet and people were thinking that was mental then. And now 200 feet just seems to be the norm or the expected, to be honest. And now we've got coasters that are 640 feet. It's just insane.
It's mental.
While we're on it, who do you think will be the manufacturer to beat the height record of 620 feet on Falcon's Flight? At which park as well?
I generally think Intamin will outbeat themselves. I don't think Mac will beat them, because they're definitely not good at it by a lift hill, and I don't know how much powerful Mac can go with their launches. But I reckon it'll be Intamin outdo themselves. Now, what park? It definitely won't be a UK theme park. Imagine that, like 700-foot roller coaster around towers. No, not a chance.
You never know. They could get one at Southport Pleasureland.
Yeah. It will definitely be a US park, like Six Flags or Cedar Point, possibly.
Okay, I see that. I would have said Dubai, to be honest, somewhere in Dubai, because they always seem to build crazy tall stuff.
Yeah, or will it be in Six Flags today? Like, will they do an extension, and will they make something even bigger?
Yeah, they could build King Dakar, like a clone of King Dakar, on top of the quarry, and then it would technically be taller, because if they're counting the quarry as part of the 620 feet, yeah, then I'm sure they'll add that on.
Yeah.
So, the next part is, what would theme park enthusiasts from the past be most surprised about if they visited a theme park of today?
How different the theme parks are, definitely. Because I feel like a lot of the theme parks now they're like very old, and only some parks. A lot of the parks are very new and modern. But then there's some parks would be very similar and the same, but some, I think they'd be quite shocked of how they've evolved, because they've probably gone from a wooden coaster with like a seat belt, not even a lap bar, that just does airtime hills and a turn, and now they've stepped into a theme park and seen like a 14 loop roller coaster.
And it's not just that as well, it's the evolution of the stories on rides, because you look back at like the 1970s and 80s, they were simply roller coasters on a plot of land. Now you look at Disney and they're creating full-on storylines. Some of them got movies based off them, like Pirates of the Caribbean. I know that's not a roller coaster, but that opened in the 1970s, which I kind of contradicted myself. But Disney and Universal seem to be the only people that were doing theming at that time. But if you don't know, the Pirates of the Caribbean movies are based off the ride. Same with the Haunted Mansion movies.
Yeah, definitely.
They're based off the ride at Disneyland. But if you look nowadays, most theme parks give a story to their rides rather than just a name. And they even have full-on soundtracks that are like half an hour long.
Yeah, I know, it's absolute mental. If you like talk about it, definitely with theming, it's like, it's not just Disney too. Like, I know I had to talk about it at some point, but Polton's Park with like Valgard and Dracon, like their theming's incredible. It's like before you just wouldn't have that.
And of course, we've still got those car park coasters, but those places that have those are now gravitating towards being branded as an amusement park rather than a theme park.
Yeah, I definitely agree.
So this one is a little bit similar to what we've just asked, but looking back, what do you think is the biggest change in the theme park industry over the last 20 years?
Again, I'd definitely say theming, definitely how it's evolved over the years. Because of course now Nemesis Reborn, you had the Swarm, and see back then, like even only like 20, 30 years ago, you had Colossus that didn't have a lot of theming, and then like a few years later, then it's definitely evolved, like with Saw and then Swarm. And then of course now we've got the likes of coasters with so much theming, Dracon and Raven.
That makes sense, and like we said before, theming is a big part of the overall experience, and it can really add to a roller coaster's charm, to be honest.
Yeah, definitely.
And of course, time machines don't just go back in time, they can also go into the future. So looking ahead, what do you think will be the biggest change we'll see in theme parks in the next 20, 30 years?
I don't know really. The biggest change you'd see in a theme park. Gosh, making me think here. I don't know. I don't really know what theme parks will look like in the near future. But I think the biggest change will, of course, be I think the types of roller coasters. I feel like there'll be much more modern roller coasters, and you won't have I don't think there'll be wooden coasters anymore, and I think there'll be lots of dark rides and stuff like 4D theatres, and I just don't think there'll be anything like that anymore, and they'll be mainly focusing on coasters.
Okay, and what's one ride that you think, let's say for the UK market, in 20 years' time, what rides do you think we could still see in the UK?
Definitely Nemesis at Alton Towers.
Okay.
Hyperia. Those two coasters I don't think they'll ever get rid of. I could also see Dracon still here. The big one at Blackpool Pleasure Beach, because they've already done some retracking on that, but will they retrack it again? Not quite sure.
So we touched on this in Josh's episode about manufacturers, but since we're in the time machine, we have to go forward and look at manufacturers again. In, I don't know, let's go 100 years' time. What do you think will be the most prominent manufacturer, and do you think that we'll see a complete refresh of the board and Vekoma, Intamin, RMC, they'll all be gone and there'll be a new person in charge?
Yeah, I do definitely think that will happen. I reckon Mac in 100 years they won't be here. Vekoma, because I think it was Vekoma that they've already been around for 100 years, and I don't think they'll be here for another 100. I think we'll have a whole new line of manufacturers. I don't know what they'd be, because I don't know how different you can get like types of roller coasters, because I don't know if they're kind of running out of ideas now. But yeah, I definitely think there'll be a new panel of manufacturers.
Okay, and should we come up with some names for them?
Oh, that's going to be a hard one.
So, by the way, if you're listening at home and you're about to start a theme park, roller coaster manufacturing business, here's some ideas for names. So I was thinking you could call one Zoom, but you have it like with 4 O's. Zoom Manufacturing. The leading manufacturer of launches.
Yeah, that's not a bad one, actually. Yeah, I feel like lots of them will be like different types of versions on like a coaster. I don't know, like looping. I don't know. It's hard to. I'm really bad at thinking of names, but there might be something similar to RMC, but it just stands for something else. I don't know. C for coasters.
RMD. Rocky Mountain Development.
That could work.
I was thinking about this quite a while ago, and I've just remembered it now. Do you think that in, again, 100 years' time, theme parks will still be a thing? Because a lot of people now, if you look at 100 years ago, theme parks were so much more popular than they are now because of the takeover of other things that you could do. You can go skiing or indoor skiing places. You can even stay at home and, like you said, play on an Xbox. And you could do that rather than go out and spend all this money at a theme park when there's these things now that are like 4D chairs that you can get for you to plug into your Xbox. And I don't know, imagine playing Planet Coaster and then getting to actually ride your ride.
Yeah, that is actually a really good point. And to be honest, I actually don't think there will be theme parks in 100 years. Just feel like tech's taken over too much, and I feel like, one, it will get too expensive for people, which I think we kind of already seen already, because it's not as busy as some of the theme parks now. Number two, I just feel like there'll be other things, like you said, like iPads, and people just they won't really want to go out. I don't know. I'm quite worried for the future of theme parks.
I think we're safe for the next 10-15 years at least. Let's hope we've still got that.
Yeah, let's hope.
Well, thanks for that. I think that's been a very interesting segment, actually. What do you guys think at home? Let me know in the comments what you think will happen, or one ride that you'd want to bring back. I think it's time for the quickfire round. Alright then, it's time for the quickfire round. First answer that comes to mind, no overthinking. Best defunct coaster.
So coaster that's no longer here. Is that what defunct means? King Dakar.
Okay, King Dakar. One park era everyone should have experienced.
Definitely when there was lots of investments into the park. So I reckon like the 1990s, early 2000s.
Most nostalgic theme park soundtrack.
Either the big one or Nemesis. Definitely Nemesis.
One ride you'd erase from history, just to get it gone.
Gutrix at Park Asterix.
Really? Wow.
Yeah, apparently that's an awful ride. I'm gonna get out there.
Have you been on it?
I haven't, but I've.
Okay, so that seems a little bit harsh, erasing it from history forever, to say you haven't been on it. Past, present, or future, past, present, or future of theme parks, which part interests you most?
Definitely the future, like I said earlier, and what we said. Definitely what will happen with theme parks in the future. What will they look like? Will they even be a thing? So yeah, the future definitely interests me the most. I do worry sometimes what it will be like.
Okay, and that brings us to the end of today's episode. But before we go, a big thank you to Coaster Chronicles for joining me. Do you want to tell everyone where they can find you and what kind of content you post?
So you can find me on TikTok, Instagram and YouTube. I do lots of vlogs, theme park updates, POVs, and of course lots of funny theme park videos.
And have you got anything exciting coming up that people should look out for?
I do actually. This weekend I'm going on to a mystery theme park trip in Europe. So yeah, there'll be a vlog on YouTube out on that very soon.
Well, I hope you have a great time. And finally, if you could save just one piece of theme park history forever, what would it be?
One piece of theme park history. So could that be like an opening day?
Opening day, piece of merchandise, soundtrack, anything. What should be around for the next forever?
Hype era. It's gotta be. Or could it be a theme park?
It can be an entire theme park.
I feel like Alton Towers should be here forever. Just hopefully much more better.
Okay, well, thanks everyone for listening. Make sure to check out Coaster Chronicles and give them a follow. And don't forget to follow me as well. And I'll see you in the next episode for some more Coaster Crazy conversations.